It happened on a quiet morning, the kind that feels rehearsed, like a scene from a play you've seen too many times. Soft, pale light spilled gently through the blinds, casting delicate patterns across the kitchen. The faint, calming scent of chamomile curled through the air, soothing yet deceptive. I was mid-sentence, weaving yet another practiced lie, with ease born from repetition, when he slid the divorce papers across the gleaming kitchen counter. He said nothing. No questions, no pleading, no anger, just that cold, unreadable stare, flat and distant, as if I were some stranger who'd asked for directions rather than the woman who had shared his life for 7 years. My throat tightened painfully around the unfinished sentence, and the chamomile bitterness turned sharp on my tongue, scalding and cruel in its betrayal. Still, he remained silent. But this silence wasn't awkward or sad. It was surgical, deliberate. It was his move, a quiet declaration that everything had changed. When I finally whispered his name, barely audible, he turned and walked away. No suitcase, no farewell, just a sudden absence of him. Clean, absolute, a shape cut sharply from the canvas of my life. I thought I held the upper hand. I mistook his stillness for surrender. Imagined I had won by default. But I hadn't realized yet this was not the end. It was only the opening move of a game I didn't understand, and one I was about to lose. 7 years of marriage unraveled in that silent moment. 7 years filled with early morning laughter, whispered secrets beneath the covers, stolen glances across crowded rooms. I loved him, truly, but love is fragile and routine its slow poison. Then there was Ethan, reckless, intoxicating Ethan, born of boredom and fear. A desperate thrill I clung to because I was terrified my life had settled too soon, too quietly. Every fall, my husband and I used to escape the noise and way of the world, retreating to a secluded cabin deep in the Smoky Mountains. No self-service, no traffic. Just the hiss of wind through pine branches and the flickering hush of firelight against the wooden walls. We called it our sanctuary. After the papers came, I returned to that cabin, this time with Ethan. He found the stillness exhilarating, the isolation thrilling, but he had no reverence for what the space meant, no understanding of the weight that clung to every log, every creaking floorboard. But I felt it. That place remembered. It judged. The guilt didn't crash over me all at once. It settled slowly, quietly, tightening like frost around my chest. Then, one night, everything changed. It was 3 a.m. weeks after our stay. My phone buzzed, a security alert from the lodge. Motion detected. Groggy, I opened the app. The video feed flickered to life. There he was, my husband, alone, moving deliberately slow, every step measured, as if retracing memories or walking the edges of something sacred that had been violated. He paused in the bedroom at the foot of the bed Ethan and I had shared, just standing there, staring at the unmade sheets. Then, without a word, he turned and left. No vandalism, no dramatic gesture, just a silent acknowledgement that he knew. That night, I slid a knife beneath my pillow. I told Ethan. He laughed it off, called me paranoid. But I couldn't unsee my husband's eyes, unwavering, unreadable, not angry or wounded, just still. 3 weeks later, Ethan disappeared. We were supposed to meet at a museum. He never showed. I called and texted, waited hours, until my phone finally rang. A deputy's voice, flat and distant. A body had been found at the remote lodge. No forced entry, no robbery, no struggle, just death. My knees buckled before the deputy could finish. But I drove there anyway, heart hammering, desperate for proof that it wasn't true. Police tape fluttered at the doorway like a warning. Officers tried to keep me out, but I didn't listen. Inside, the air was thick with decay, and something darker, heavier. Blood marked the floors, a deliberate, dark trail leading from the kitchen to the fireplace. That's where they found Ethan. His face was unrecognizable, ribs crushed beneath an unforgiving weight. The investigators said the scene wasn't chaotic. It wasn't a crime of passion or rage. It was precision, surgical, calculated. On the mantel above the fireplace sat a single object, a black rook, stark and out of place, cold and intentional. I stopped crying then. I understood. He had made his move. All this time, I believed I held the power, that I was the one controlling the game, manipulating the pieces, deciding the outcome. But he had changed the rules, moved in silence. While I played for thrills, he played for the end game. I never spoke to the police. There was no need, no witnesses, no motive that could be proven, no prince coming to solve the mystery. Ethan's death slipped into the shadows, another unsolved ghost lost in the mountains. Days after the funeral, my phone rang. It was him, his voice cold, measured. "I warned you," he said. I said nothing. There was nothing to say. "One day," he added, "you'll understand. I did you a favor." And then he hung up. I unraveled after that, tore through his past, his storage unit, his files, documents, photos, time-stamped shots of Ethan and me taken from miles away, surveillance logs, blueprints of the lodge, notes on security rotations. He had planned everything, every detail. Disabled cameras, left no trace. Staged the scene like a robbery gone wrong. But the rook, his message, not for the world. For me, I wanted to hate him, to feel fear. But instead, I felt awe. He never screamed, never argued, never tried to say what I destroyed. He simply moved, quiet, clean, absolute. People ask why I never remarried, why I avoid talking about the past, why I smile like someone holding a secret too heavy to share. I offer no explanation. None is needed. I betrayed the only person who ever truly saw me. And he answered, not with chaos, but with mastery. Now, whenever I see a chessboard, my eyes always go to rook, black, cold, silent. His final move. And I remember the blood, the silence, the reckoning. Some seek revenge with fury. He once whispered,